I was with 5 other friends at a house. I had to have dinner with my mum while the others dropped, and I got to them about 2 hours after they had all dropped. We stayed at the house for about 1 hour, when it was decided that me and Richo would go and score some pot. Well, we both got in the car and set off. The drive there was cool, there was this white shimmering, and the vibrations from the car made me feel mellow and the music was trippy. Well, we got to this guy's house, scored the weed and decided to have a few cones. It would have been 2 hours after I dropped then. Well, I had 1 cone, and then in the space of a few minutes I lost it. The curtains were swaying in the breeze, but it felt like the walls were breathing. The funny thing was that as the outside world moved, I could feel it on my body. Well, the bad part was where I had dinner and it never really digested properly. So it felt like I had this lump in my stomach. It hurts. And when I focused on it, it was like these memories of my childhood came back to me. All of a sudden, with my eyes wide open, I was with all the people in my primary school class outside on the grass. Well, it kept getting more intense. Our other friends rang us up wondering where the pot was. I told Richo that I simply couldn't drive. I was sitting completely still on a bench and I didn't think I could even get up. After a while the space at the edge of my vision lost all color and form, until I was looking at everything through a window. I closed my eyes, and I just went off into this space. The pain in my stomach was still there. This guy whose house it was decided to mull up some more cones. It was so funny. It felt like my pain was the mull. As he started mullin' it eased and fell through. But then his mully got stuck and he goes. Almost. And the pain came back. Well, eventually the guy said that he would like us to leave. So I managed to stand up and walk outside. We got in the car. Well, this guy Richo I was with is an experienced tripper, and me it was my first. So we were sitting in the car in this guy's driveway, and he was explaining how I could feel other people's energies. Well, then things got really bizarre. It was like in the car the future and the past didn't exist. I was having difficulties coping with my reality, and Richo was explaining to me how the universe worked. After about half an hour he reminded me we were in some guy's driveway still. Well, I was trippin' out exploring my pain, and I just wondered why I should bother going back to my friends and stuff. Why I shouldn't just curl up and trip out. It took Richo about another hour to finally get me to move. It was like I realized that I had no direction in life. I got down to the root of existence, and I found my yin, yang energies. And one side of my body felt good, and one bad. Somehow I just realized that I needed to just follow the good feeling. I needed to control the drug, not let the drug control me. And it snapped, that I needed to control my life, not let life control me. And when I did that I pulled myself out of my sorry and depressed state, and became chuffed, inspirational etc. The drive home was way cool. We were just floating in a sea of lights with airy jungle music going. And I realized that I was almost out of petrol. So we had to go to a BP. Man, the BP. I have never been anywhere so trippy in my life. We spent another half hour sitting in the car, in which time we went into a world that was so like the Matrix it made me wonder what those guys were on. Any thoughts I had would come true, and with us both there we could go anywhere, do anything. Go on any trip. But anyway, when I went to fill up the car, it was like I was filling myself up. Of course I chose super unleaded, the super juice. Well, lots more trips at the BP, like people looking at us funny cause we were so out of it. But anyways, we finally found our friends, and it was so weird. It was like I realized why each one of them was in my life, why our karma had crossed. I realized that I could change all my friends and everything, just by changing myself from that bad energy to the good stuff. I went outside with one friend to get some music from the car, and on the way back I thought I was holding my friend's leg inside my body. When I looked down it was just my bag. At one stage one felt myself intertwine with Richo. It was like we were merging our consciousness. He said that we are our own beings, and we should keep to ourselves. And I realized that how by not being myself, as people always tell you to be, I was allowing other people's energies to mingle with mine, and I would become them in some way. Well, things got a bit stupid cause basically I became stuck somewhere in my mind, and I can't keep in the present. But the pain was still there. Eventually I curled up on the floor. And eventually I threw up on the floor smiley face. It made me feel a bit better. Eventually I got to the couch where I went to sleep. I woke up in the morning feeling like I had just figured out how the universe works, which of course I had always wanted to know. I also felt like I had explored my pain sufficiently that it would go away afterwards.